This is the Anbernic RG353V, and today I'm going to be reviewing it, because why not? And you're going to have the pleasure of watching. Also, a quick shout out to these 3 viewers for helping out the channel. So without further ado, I'm Ethan from WeThing, and it's review time. So jumping right in, I'm going to talk about the specs of the device. It comes with a dual OS boot system with Android 11 and Linux, a 3.5-inch IPS display that is touchscreen, 2 GB of LPDDR4, 32 GB of eMMC 5.1 plus a 16 GB TF card for the OS and the Linux. Also, it has an RK3566 quad-core that's 64-bit with a Cortex A55. Personally, this is my favorite console out of the 2 353 units that I own, mainly because of the vertical landscape. Now I'm going to start talking about the hardware of the device. On the front of the console, you'll see you have a function button, your start and select buttons, your 2 analog joysticks, your A, B, X, and Y buttons, your D-pad, 1 stereo speaker, and an indicator light. On the side of the console, you'll have your TF1 and 2 slot, your power button, and your reset button. On the top of the console, you'll have a C-type OTG port, a micro HDMI port, and a 3.5mm headphone jack. On the left side of the console, you'll see 1 volume rocker. On the back of the console, you'll see 6 screws fastening the case together. Also, you'll see that it has L1, L2, R2, and R1 functionalities. Also, it has the Anbernic branding on the back. On the bottom of the console, you'll see 1 C-type DC charging port. I'm gonna boot this console into Linux, and we're gonna test some games. "33 seconds is not bad, but now I have to fix the theme on this device because I did some tinkering. This is the default theme you will see when you first boot into the console, but you can change it if you want. Now I'm going to start testing some games on this console, but if you want to see me test games on the Anbernic RG353P, the link is in the description. If you're enjoying the video so far, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment what you think I could do better in order to get a shout out in the next video. The first console I decided to test was the Nintendo Entertainment System. As expected, NES emulators ran perfect on this console. The next emulator I tested was Game Boy. The gameplay was stretched to the full width of the screen, but there's a way you could change this if you go to the decoration setting and the settings of the RetroArch and change the overlay. Other than that, Game Boy games ran perfectly. The next console I tested was Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo ran fine, but there were some graphical glitches here and there, but it didn't really affect the gameplay. I tested N64 next. The Nintendo 64 game that I tested with this emulator did not run at full speed on this console, but I'm sure that it works. Here's a clip from TechDweeb showcasing the Nintendo 64 emulator. As you can see, Nintendo 64 runs very well on this console. If you want to see the full video, the link is in the description. Now it's time to test Game Boy Advance games. As expected, Game Boy Advance games run perfectly on this device. And this is one of my favorite games on Game Boy Advance, so I'm glad to see that it's working. Now I'm gonna play some DS games. As you can see, NDS games work perfectly on this console, but you are sacrificing comfortable dual screen play. But other than that, the Drastic emulator runs these games great. Now I'm gonna start testing Sega Master System. Sega Master System ran great with this console, and I had no issues with the emulator. Now I'm gonna test some Sega Game Gear games. Yes, Sega Game Gear works perfectly on this device. So if you want to get this console for 32-bit games and down, you can guarantee that every one of those games will run perfectly. Now it's time to test more demanding consoles like Dreamcast. Sometimes there's some lagging here and there, but overall, the gameplay is great. The PSP game that I tested, specifically Tekken 6, did not run on my console. So here's a clip from TechDweeb's channel testing PSP games. So overall, this console is perfect for your retro gaming needs. It's pocketable, portable, and affordable. If you want the console, the link is in the description. Also, a huge thank you to TechDweeb for letting me use his video clips. that was the Anbernic RG353V. It's been a wee thing, and I'll see you guys in the next one.